Welcome to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is March 29th, 2025. A research team from Osaka University, Riken, and other institutions has found a new yeast species in Okinawa. This yeast is different from similar species due to its unique genetic and physiological traits, including a genome containing far lower levels of the nucleic acids guanine and cytosine. It can tolerate higher temperatures, better assimilate specific carbon sources, and has higher resistance to certain drugs. These features suggest potential uses in industries such as food fermentation and antimicrobial development. The yeast has been isolated from Drosophila fruit flies over several years and seems to have a unique connection to this fruit fly and not found in any other locations researched across Japan. Maxell Limited, a Japanese maker of electronic parts and materials, announced it will stop making prismatic lithium-ion batteries by May. The company will also close its Chinese subsidiary, Wuxi Maxell Energy, to redirect its resources toward all-solid-state batteries. Maxell began producing these batteries in 1996, which were commonly used in mobile phones and portable game consoles. However, profits have decreased due to a shift toward laminated lithium-ion batteries. As a result, Maxell expects to incur a loss of 1.2 billion yen for inventory valuation and an extraordinary loss of 2.8 billion yen, mainly for retirement payments, by the end of this month. In 2024, Japanese households bought 6.3% more rice compared to the previous year, driven by fears of a shortage, despite high prices. Households purchased an average of 60 kilograms of rice, marking the first increase since 2020. Rice prices have risen sharply in the past year, up 81% from February 2024 to February this year. From August 2024 onward, purchases surged due to concerns about supply, partly influenced by warnings about a potential mega earthquake. Even with rising prices and new harvests, consumers continued buying more rice into the autumn. Amid fears of a rice shortage, the government decided last month to release up to 210,000 tons from its reserves to stabilize prices and prevent further price increases. A Japanese court has ordered the dissolution of the Unification Church following a government request linked to the investigation of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's 2022 assassination. The church, based in South Korea, is considering an appeal. The ruling comes after allegations of manipulative fundraising and recruitment tactics that harmed followers and their families. The Japanese branch criticized the decision as a threat to religious freedom, claiming unfair treatment. The church has faced scrutiny for its tactics over the decades, receiving significant financial support from its Japanese followers. Lawyers for victims view this ruling as a crucial step for justice. Iwao Hakamada, 89, wrongly convicted of murder in 1966, will receive $1.4 million. He spent 46 years in jail, mostly on death row. The compensation equals $83 for each day of his imprisonment. A court declared Hakamada not guilty in a retrial in 2024. The court found police had changed evidence and forced a confession. Hakamada's lawyers said the money does not cover his suffering, his long detention having harmed his mental health. Hakamada is the fifth death row inmate in Japan freed after a retrial. On March 24th, Japan began issuing new My Number identification cards linked to driver's license, but multiple system errors occurred. In Saitama Prefecture, 6 police stations failed to issue licenses, affecting about 100 people. Iwate Prefecture saw 2 out of 4 centers face similar issues, and users were asked to return later. In Aichi Prefecture, at least 17 stations had errors but resolved them by 4:30 p.m. Kanagawa Prefecture faced problems with a service that allows address changes, with malfunctioning devices delaying the process for about 5 hours. National Public Safety Commission Chairperson Manabu Sakai apologized and promised an investigation into the issues. As cherry blossom season begins, companies and local governments are preparing for a surge in foreign visitors. Tourist information centers in Tokyo report inquiries are mainly about cherry blossom viewing. Cruise operator SpiceServe reports high interest in their cherry blossom cruises along the Meguro Canal, with 45% of passengers coming from overseas. Cherry blossoms in Tokyo were expected to bloom from March 24th, with full bloom around March 30th. However, concerns about public manners have risen. Ueno Park has put up signs in multiple languages discouraging touching the trees to prevent damage, as well as warning against littering and open fires. Yellow dust from mainland Asia has been blowing over Japan, worsening hay fever and asthma, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. The yellow dust season usually runs from March to May, peaking in April, but dust observation days have decreased significantly due to forest establishment projects in China. The dust can carry pollutants, leading to respiratory issues and increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. This coincides with hay fever season, and experts advise precautions like wearing non-woven masks. Studies suggest that exposure to the combination of yellow dust and pollen can heighten allergic reactions. And in overseas entertainment news, K-pop group New Jeans expressed their shock and dismay this week after a court ruling in favor of their employer. The girl band is one of the most popular groups in Asia and took the unusual step about publicly speaking out on their mistreatment and harassment and the conflicts between their direct employer, Ador, and its parent company, Korean entertainment giant HYBE. A South Korean court recently ordered them to stop all independent activities while their legal battle continues. New Jeans performed briefly at a concert in Hong Kong under a new name, then announced to fans their plans to continue addressing their grievances. New Jeans broke the Guinness World Record for fastest K-pop group to reach 1 billion plays on Spotify. Fuji TV announcer Risa Kishimoto, 25, announced she will leave the station later this year, making this the third such resignation by a female announcer this month. Although the sexual misconduct scandal involving Masahiro Nakai is still ongoing, Kishimoto stated her decision is not related to it. She expressed her interest in pursuing corporate management and believes stepping away from announcing is appropriate at this time. Earlier this month, announcers Yumi Nagashima, 33, and Keiko Tsubakihara, 39, also stated their plans to leave Fuji TV. Kishimoto expressed gratitude for her time at Fuji, which began in April 2022. Japan's National Police Agency is considering capping daily ATM withdrawals and transfers for people aged 75 and older to 300,000 yen to address rising fraud issues. Fraud losses in 2024 exceeded 70 billion yen, a significant number of victims being 75 or older. The proposal follows a June 2024 meeting where the government recognized the need to limit transactions for the elderly. Currently, banks set their own limits, usually higher than the proposed cap. With concern over user convenience and impact on banks, public opinions will be sought before changes are made. Masaki Kashiwara, a Japanese mathematician, has won the 2025 Abel Prize, the prestigious equivalent of the Nobel Prize in mathematics. This is the first time a Japanese person has received the award. The Norwegian Academy of Science and Letters selected him for his important work in algebraic analysis and representation theory at Kyoto University. Born in 1947, Kashiwara specialized in representation theory, which studies mathematical structures. He has developed significant algebraic tools called D modules with help from his mentor, Professor Mikio Sato. In 2018, he received the Crafoord Prize of Sweden for his lifetime achievements. The Abel Prize includes a reward of 7.5 million kroner, or $715,000 US, or 107 million Japanese yen. Many examinees of the Japanese language test for non-native speakers in December submitted ungradable papers due to an answer leak online, as reported by the Foreign Ministry. The Japan Foundation found an unusual number of identical answers but did not label it cheating. Over 1 million people took the test in 2023, as employers and schools in Japan require language certifications. The ministry urged the Japan Foundation to prevent this issue in the future. Test fees will be refunded, but retakes will not be offered. A teacher interviewed about the issue emphasized that this was a failure of test management and that the examinees should be allowed to take the test again. TMG International, operator of online meat retailer, The Meat Guy, apologized for a potential leak of customer data this week. An unauthorized access incident revealed that over 100,000 customer information pieces may have been exposed, including credit card data from nearly 7,000 customers. Customers are advised to check their credit card statements for unfamiliar charges. The Meat Guy, founded in 1997 to sell American beef to foreigners in Japan, specializes in meats not typically found in local supermarkets and runs holiday promotions. The company is enhancing its security measures following this incident. The site is currently closed, with a reopening date to be announced. And also in food news, Sukiya, Japan's largest beef bowl fast food chain, will close most of its 2,000 stores for 4 days starting Monday, after a rat was found by customers in a bowl of miso soup, and another incident where a meal contained a cockroach. The company, owned by Zensho Holdings, apologized for the incidents, which led to a drop in their stock price. Sukiya announced the closures to prevent further issues, leaving only a few locations in shopping centers open from March 31st to April 4th. As of late 2024, Sukiya had nearly 2,000 stores in Japan and about 650 overseas. That brings us to the end of news items for the week ending March 29th. These stories and more you can read at theTokyoBill.com. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.